Shift now to what you found in Texas when you visited Texas. And I think your first viral article was, "Is Texas about to fall to Islam?" I think that woke a lot of people up. What did you see that surprised you or brought you to that conclusion?
Well, I had the privilege of being over there meeting with a lot of people. I had the privilege of being in the Mercury One studios, and we met maybe a dozen Texas legislators. And I thought I should find out where Texas fits in terms of Islamization. I was going to talk about where the UK is and the US generally, and I thought surely Texas is doing very well. Then I looked at the figures and I was like, oh my goodness. So at the moment, Texas has around 350 mosques. I think California has 410. Texas is due to overtake California by the end of the decade for the most mosques of any US state. Then you look at other parts, you look at the halal food market. The halal food market is growing fastest in Houston. It's a 22% annual growth in Houston, with Dallas at 20%. That is more than any other city in the US. Then, as I was there in just around the corner from DFW Airport, and I thought, wow, there are two kind of Sharia courts operating around here. So I looked into that. And then that's when I wrote this article later. I'm told, surely you can't have Sharia courts in America. It's not possible. Well, there's an act from 1925, the Federal Arbitration Act, and that allows religious courts to operate, whether it's Jewish, Christian, and Islamic. Now, I would argue you don't really need religious courts to operate in the country, because then you have a two-tier system, a dual legality. But of course, you have these courts happening now. I believe there are maybe only 20 US courts happening, but they've been under the radar, and one of the courts has been operating since, I think, 2014, and now has what the Islamic Tribunal of Texas has been going since 2014, and now does 300 cases a year.
And why is this a problem? Why is it a problem? For people who don't know what a Sharia court does.
So why is it a problem? That it treats women as different than men, in terms of women only having half or a quarter of the say of a man. It treats unbelievers, or kafirs as they're called, as, again, second class, and therefore doesn't treat them as equal. Islam is very supremacist in terms of its belief systems, that if you're a Muslim, you're better than anyone else, and that is worked out in the legal system. So, for instance, in the UK, in our 85 Sharia courts, 90% of the cases in some courts are brought by